Hugs the Mac. It is still Passover. Last night was the Seder meal, and I live streamed from the Kabbalah Center, and I was also finishing editing the Libra full moon workshop, which you've got to go watch. It's really, really amazing. Lots of good things to look forward to over the next 2 weeks. Lots of really good information about how best to utilize the waning cycle of this full moon leading up to the eclipse season. So we're really wanting to utilize this 2 weeks very intentionally before we get into like eclipse season, which can be chaotic. So yeah, go watch the full moon workshop. It actually, it took like so long to upload. I thought it would be uploaded by like tomorrow, not like last night at 9, and it literally was still uploading into like midday this morning. So I was pretty frustrated, but it's still good. Like you can still go watch it. The great thing about our readings and our workshops is that there's a lot of evergreen wisdom in them that's just good for any time. But our story is just sort of like a continuing, ongoing, unfolding saga. And so our lunation readings are kind of like our big look at like the next like couple of weeks and, you know, kind of bigger picture look, you know, in context to the year. So if you don't catch them on the full moon or the new moon, it doesn't really matter. They're still going to be relevant to our story. So yeah, tonight we're here for our romance oracle reading. I have been ritualing all day. So yesterday I ran around and got like ingredients for my Seder meal. Came home, did the workshop, cooked, made a lamb, well not a whole lamb, but like made lamb and like some of the other foods that I needed. And then it took forever to edit and upload the video, and then I ritualed. And when you ritual with the Kabbalah Center, it's like you're up, you're down, you're like scanning Hebrew, you're trying to pronounce the words in Hebrew whilst reading the English translation so you know what you're saying, and it's all very fast. It takes a lot of energy and concentration, and then there's singing, and then there's like lectures and stuff, but I mean, it goes on for hours. And so I ended up watching the West Coast stream, or I don't know, I thought I was going to be watching a different one with different teachers. And so I missed that one. And as it turns out, I only saw like half of it. And so the ritual I did last night was incomplete. So this morning I stumbled upon like the main like teacher and his wife, that like the Rav, you know, and his wife. And so I watched the whole thing again this morning, but then there's also like the morning connection for today and midday and evening. And so I don't know, I've gotten up to like this day's morning connection done, and I still have to watch the midday connection and evening connection. So I'm hoping that they're not both like 2 hours long. This has been a very exhausting 2 days off. Just have you know that. And I've got an insanely busy weekend ahead at work, and then Easter with the family, and then like work Sunday night. So y'all pray for me. Oh my gosh, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. This really ties in to the Libra themes of this full moon. Libra is all about our relationships and partnerships. And so the thing that's going on, you know, part of it is that we are like going into this big new start in this new story of our life. And we have this like new identity and a new level of consciousness that we're living in. And so we're having to embody that. And so, you know, we've been going through a lot of initiations and trials and tribulations. And so right now we're entering into a season of forgiveness, healing, redemption, you know, making things, healing things, but maybe not in a way that you would expect. So sometimes Libra, you know, bends over backwards to keep everybody else pacified. And so that might be something that you have to overcome and have like an uncomfortable conversation or set a boundary. Just be really careful about how you have these heart-to-heart conversations. Try to be fair, kind, neutral, polite. Don't be hurtful or harsh, but be honest, be authentic, be genuine, but try not to be emotional in your delivery, because then there's room for a lot of reactivity, for more than what needs to be said, and then that leaves room for miscommunications and confusions and just empty words that lead to chaos and harshness and hurt feelings. So be mindful. And be mindful that the healing the family issues is not going to look the same for everyone. You may not get like that happy ending where everybody like finally sees through and sees the light and gets along and has like a deeper, better relationship. That might not be it. It might be you making peace with what is and just learning how to maintain your sense of healed self within the relationships with people that you know are just always going to be difficult, right? And it doesn't have anything to do with you. It's just that everybody has their own stuff, and we are all rubbing up against each other's edges. And sometimes, no matter what we do, we can't change the dynamic that we have with someone. It's just always going to be that way. So some of it is just practicing radical acceptance, and then just being realistic about like what it is that you're dealing with and how to protect yourself, how to set boundaries, how, if you can communicate what you need, try. I have, it didn't necessarily go over very well. And so, yeah, I mean, that's something that you kind of have to brace yourself for the possibility of. I'm in the camp where I'm kind of just having to accept that it is what it is, and just to try to make peace with it within myself, you know, and look to my Father in heaven for, you know, that kind of unconditional love. And when you really, that's really what you need to do. That's the lesson for everyone, is to never look to the vessel for the unconditional love and validation. You look to the light for that's really what's in the vessel that you want to get that love and validation. It's like you really need to just rely on source for it, and then you don't need it from other people. It's weird. One day you wake up and like somebody, like say your father gives you the speech that you always wanted to hear, and then suddenly you're just like, oh, that really didn't do anything for me. Like I'm already validated in the light. I am a child of God, and I have that relationship, and I must be healed because I'm hearing you say that. That's nice. I receive it, but it doesn't make me feel neither here nor there, you know? So maybe you can get to a place of neutrality. All right, what else do we need to know for our love lives this week? How to best benefit. So yeah, Libra themes, it's like all about healing different relationships and dynamics and showing up, you know, in this new way. So definitely, I mean, we go into a lot more depth, and we talk all about that in the reading from yesterday in the full moon workshop. So be sure to check it out. Ooh, I just had a long bath. It was very nice. I needed it. It's been such a busy week. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Definitely go back and watch yesterday's reading, because it hinted about heart-to-heart conversations, you know, possible meetings or communications that need to happen. So definitely go back and watch yesterday's reading. But something is going on where you might have multiple options, or it might just be one person, or maybe someone that you haven't met yet. But within the next couple of weeks, I would say definitely there may be some like new action within your love life. And so you may have feelings, or you may wonder if someone else returns the feelings, and just know that they're valid and worth maybe exploring or nurturing, or, you know, paying attention to. Don't just dismiss them thinking that it's all in your imagination, because maybe it isn't. All right, let's see, what else do we need to know? Oh, trust. Okay, so yeah, we need to just relax. This is an issue of divine timing at this point. like one of the messages that came up earlier in the week in our anchor message was that, you know, we're better off than we seem right now. It's just that this is sort of like an initiation moment, you know, in this like desert wilderness. And it's just that period of this time of year and this time within our growth. And so instead of thinking that you've got all this work to do to get where you need to be, to get to where you want to go, just know that it's all unfolding, and now it's just a matter of timing. It's like you don't have to keep on, I mean, like we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always doing the transformation work. But it's not like you don't have to keep putting off your life trying to perfect yourself. Trust that you have done so much and that you've come such a long way, and that you are starting this new like phase of your life in an up level, and it's all just sort of like starting to awaken like spring. The sprouts are just pushing against the soil. So just trust that maybe you don't see any evidence happening yet, but things are coming to life, and that means figuratively and literally. So just trust that everything's unfolding just as it should, that things are changing and good things are coming, and just be in a relaxed state that it's like what's yours is already yours. So it's only a matter of time before you cross paths with that thing and it comes into your sphere. All right, one last card to look into the week, and then I'm gonna go back to ritualing. Well, actually, I'm going to heat up the rest of my ritual feast from last night, and I'm going to continue ritualing and enjoying. And ooh, let your friends help. Ask for and accept support from others. So yeah, pay attention, be open to suggestion right now. Let your friends help. The bad advice card did come up in our full moon workshop. So again, go watch that. But I'm thinking that the bad advice card is saying like, don't restrict yourself to completely traditional ways of thinking or going along with what the majority of people are saying. Like, do let your friends help, but it'll resonate with you, but I have a feeling that you might have to go outside the box a little bit from the norm. But in that, like, it may not even be that your friends are giving you advice. It may just be like your friends are like, hey, you want to go do this thing? Like, and you go do this thing and something happens while you're there. Like, you meet someone or you run into somebody or synchronicity happens. So let your friends help. Be open, and trust that things are unfolding in just the right timing. You want things to be ripe, right? You can't force a grape to ripen. And you don't want to eat it before it's ripe, because then it'll be bitter and sour. So it's frustrating, but just trust. And I think things are going to be happening sooner than we think. So just stay focused on the intention of the essence of what you're calling in and how you want it to feel, and feel how you want it to feel to magnetize that. Keep an active desire and keep making an effort in your personal growth and in your life, and it will start coming in. But you've got to trust that it's all taken care of, and let go of like super specific details about exactly who this is or when it is or what or how it's going to happen. Just trust that divine is in all things, and your intended partner that like God knows is going to be the most fulfilling person for you. Like, they want to be with you too, and all the heavens want to orchestrate this to happen. So just trust that things are falling into place and that you've got heaven's help on your side, and ask for heaven's help, and just like be confident and ruminate in the knowing that the romantic feelings are real and valid. And if you don't know anyone yet that you have this crush on or whatever, just get into a romantic feeling state. Like, get yourself feeling pumped about life and romance yourself, and, you know, get in the spirit of it. And also, never stop family healing. It just never ends. But every time we get past a certain level with family healing, it's like there's always kind of a reward or a boon that comes with that as well. So it could be that this is like the rite of passage that's going to give you the talisman that's going to make the way for this to start unfolding. So hang in there, y'all. Stick with it with the family healing. This is a big holiday week, so whether you are Jewish or Christian, you may be seeing family, and this might be a good time, a good opportunity to just let bygones, be warm, and try to move forward and not be in the past, right? The ego only has power because of time. If we're constantly in the present, we're usually fairly content, or we can bear anything as long as we're just in the moment. So that's when we're in the present, the ego doesn't have any power over us. And the present is actually where we connect to like the unconditional love of God, because God, divine creator, source, is an everlasting, eternal immanence and of love and the tendency of beingness and creation. So that is all happening in a perpetual state of wholeness and unity, which does not have past or present or future. It's all just being now, right? So to have affinity with that, we need to be in the present. We need to be present and conscious in the moment, in the now. And that's where our power is, and that's where we connect with the divine. That's where we connect with our higher self as well. All right, y'all. And that's where really we connect with each other. Because if we're not present, then there cannot be intimacy. All right. Well, I hope y'all have a very romantic week. I hope that your romantic feelings are validated and you have some exciting things happen for you out there. All right. Ciao.